Here's my Alpha Sapphire shiny collection, including some shinies I haven't talked about much or at all on this channel. So before that, I just want to quickly talk about a mental block I had with playing through 3DS Pokemon games. Back when X and Y came out, I found myself getting really perfectionist about various things. I was just getting really particular about things in my environment. I'll talk about X and Y more another time, but some of those things were coming up again with this Alpha Sapphire. Getting this ID helped me push past some of them, but I didn't feel like I was ready to play through the game yet. Finding the first shiny in the file, though, definitely helped me push past a lot of those mental blocks and just commit to the save file. So here's the first shiny I found on it, a Swampert. Well, obviously found as a Mudkip. I did approximately 3,000 Hoenn starter soft resets, mainly for Torchic, followed by Trico, the least for Mudkip. And I only did 186 resets on the file before finding the Mudkip. And when it appeared, I was alternating which starter I chose, so over the course of 3 resets, I chose Trico, Torchic, and then Mudkip. Thanks to my friend for that idea. I thought it'd be interesting to try. Now I EV trained this in attack, defense, and speed, but before I was able to do that, I had another mental block with not EV training it as a sweeper. So I was considering doing just attack and speed, but for Swampert I felt like more defense would be beneficial. Eventually I was able to overcome that and did the EV spread that it currently has. Alright, let's go to the second shiny of this file. Linoone, found as a Zigzagoon in a Horde battle, Route 116. This appeared close to the odds, but it felt like the total went up so fast, seeing 5 Pokemon per Horde. I was psyched to get this because it was a reclaim of the uncatchable Zigzagoons I found while resetting for Hoenn starters in Emerald. And it was my first Horde shiny in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Yeah, it's awesome to have a shiny with pickup. Now the third shiny from this game, Claydol, found as a Baltoy, Route 111. This only took just over 1,000 encounters, and that was for various targets on this file since the last shiny, Zigzagoon. It was really cool to see shiny Baltoy. I thought Claydol would look better, but it is still cool to have one. I remember hunting it in Emerald version in Sky Pillar and finding a Golbat in early 2011. I like the type coverage of the moves too. And the fourth shiny, Magnezone. I actually found this live in a Horde. I was in a parking lot. I was psyched on the timid nature and capable of taking hits characteristic, but the special attack IV is lacking. It's alright though, I don't go for shinies for good IVs. That's just an add bonus if they do have them. I'm just grateful to find the shinies. And I can easily go for good IV regular Pokemon if I want. Still has decent special attack. I did EV train it in that, and defense and HP. And now the next shiny, Heatran. This one appeared very quickly, for the target, I should say. The file itself was over odds since the last shiny on it. Still, it was really cool to find my first ever Gen 6 shiny legendary, and I haven't found one in Gen 7 yet. And the IVs on this are unreal. It broke a drought of about a month. I had some resistance at hunting it in this game, since my original one was in Pearl version. Part of me wanted to reclaim it in the original generation I found it in, and I also felt like the sprite would look better in there, but I think it looks good in here. I'm glad that I was open to which game it appeared in. I was also resetting in Pearl, and then found it in Alpha Sapphire. the last shiny for this Alpha Sapphire, but the second to last one I'm going to show today, is Spinda. This was found during my 5 shinies at the park challenge. It was a really cool experience. It was just special to find a shiny while at the park. Well, multiple shinies. I obviously have not EV trained this or given it a nickname yet, but I'm psyched to have a shiny Spinda because of how unique they are. Since it's a race so unlikely to get the same pattern of a regular Spinda, let alone a shiny one. And this is the last shiny. It was not found in Alpha Sapphire, of course. Went through a time machine to get here. It only took 4 eggs for the target of Shroomish, but that's a little bit misleading because I hatched 300 other Masuda Method eggs and did over 2,200 encounters for various targets in the wild. I was so psyched to get this though, because I remember many years ago my friend showed me a shiny Shroomish he had caught in Sapphire version in Petalburg Woods. I was just awestruck. Like, what? He has a red Shroomish? I barely knew what shinies were at the time. Probably had only seen the odd egg shinies and the red Gyarados in person. In terms of things I did outside my comfort zone related to this, migrating it to Gen 6, of course, because now I can't send it back to the generation I found it in. But that's okay, I get to experience it in a different generation. And it was pretty easy to EV train it here. Another thing I challenged myself with was giving it some defense EV. So the last 6 EVs I put in defense instead of HP. There's part of me that felt this need to always give the extra 6 EVs to HP. Something else that makes me a bit uncomfortable is the fact that I evolved this in an English game, so now it has an English name but the Japanese tag. Part of that is just wanting the languages to match, the name and the game it came from, and also just for the purposes of making it easy to tell the nationality of Pokemon for the Masuda Method. Still, it's really cool to have a shiny Breloom, and once I get this to level 100, I will teach it full swipe again. It'll be cool to catch shinies with a shiny Breloom. And luckily it has Poison Heal, so I don't need to worry about Effect Spore accidentally poisoning a shiny or anything. And those are the 7 shinies from my Alpha Sapphire version. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.